Coming to you live from downtown Detroit, this is Benzinga's PreMarket Prep with your host, Joel Elconin.
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I'm bidding a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything that you need to start your trading day. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday edition of Benzinga's PreMarket Prep. Spencer Israel, joined by Joel Elconin and Dennis Dick. Busy morning this morning. News to discuss. Jerremy Newsome is our guest. He runs reallifetrading.com. He'll join the show at 8:35. Joel, how's it going this morning in the S&Ps?
Well, I just want to explain to everybody that we're having problems with our quotes here because there's a lot of red on the screen. So we were trying to get the correct quotes up in the S&Ps.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we're down 1175. So that's the reason. I mean, we can't begin the show with the market in the red. So we were just waiting. But anyways, big sell-off overnight. We were looking for a catalyst. Jeffrey Gunlock made some comments about 14 hours ago. He expects to see a negative return in the market, so that might have spooked some people. He's been pretty good in the markets, but had a weak close yesterday. We were talking about it in the chat. Our all-time closing high, 52.25, our high, 52 even. That's a big number if, in fact, we can get back up there. Mid-range on the day, 44.75. I'd like to look at that for a lower risk short. Pre-market low, 37.25. That's right near Monday's low. So that's the bogey on the downside. That's the key to more decline. Crude up 56 cents, big draw, back over 63. We're really in a vacuum area here in crude. Gold refuses to cave in. Down day yesterday, but now up 10 sticks, approaching a high of the move. Silver up 13 cents at 17.14. And Dennis, if you could take a second away from trading Eastman Kodak here, we would like to we would like to talk some stocks here this morning.
Well, don't you just want to talk Eastman Kodak the entire show?
I mean, it is the next blockchain trade, and I'm surprised. I mean, this thing had the news yesterday. We were talking about it. Big fall through that. Does it have anything to do with blockchain?
It's just it's it. They say blockchain, we know what happens, even if you're Eastman Kodak. I didn't even know. You know what the funny thing is? You know, I automatically go when I hear it Eastman Kodak, I go to EK. I go to the old symbol. But yeah, obviously they went bankrupt and they had to do the reorg and everything. KODK is the new one, which it's funny. I don't even know if I've ever traded KODK, but it came back out in 2013 after they reorged it. Got all the way up to $35, and then it's been in the slide ever since until yesterday, when they come out with the fabulous news. Spencer, give us the details on what did Kodak do yesterday? Midday.
I'm actually putting the Reuters article in the chat right now in which Dennis was quoted. I don't really quite understand how this is going to work, but the news is that they announced KodakCoin, right? Which is their that's what it's called. And
I love it.
Oh, yeah, I just got to laugh. KodakCoin. These guys are geniuses. The stock went from 3 to 12. KodakCoin. I never even thought about this angle. Forget about blockchain. Just start announcing your own coins. We'll have GE coin coming out next week. I'll get all my money back in GE. General Electric coin. Let's do it.
Yeah, I don't quite know honestly how it's going to work. It's obviously for photographers, and it involves the image. It's an image rights management platform. Is how the Reuters article in which Dennis was quoted explains it. It uses blockchain technology, I guess, to make sure your images aren't that you take aren't being stolen from you, or that you're being compensated in some way every time your image is used. Which I guess is a good idea. We're not saying this is a bad idea. It's crazy. And Dennis, you were quoted in this article. I'm going to read your quote right now, and I'm going to read it in Dennis' voice. "This is getting ridiculous," said Dennis Dick.
Is that how I say ridiculous?
Said Dennis Dick, a proprietary trader at Bright Trading. "From a fundamental point of view, none of this makes sense. None of it makes sense." And that was
it doesn't from a fundamental point of view. I mean, you're jumping in here. They got a Kodak coin. You're going to go play $12 for Kodak this morning. When it was 2 days ago. It's all nonsense to me, but you can't argue with the tape. And I mean, if you're trading it, great. This can be a trade, but long-term investment, now, because Kodak Coin's coming out. Even the CEO comments. Here is this comments coming straight from the CEO's mouth. Gonna read it to you right now. It's actually from a Barron's article, which the CEO is quoted in, but CEO Jeff Clark tells him in an interview, "This does not mean a doubling in the stock price," said Clark at the company's booth on the floor of the Las Vegas Convention Center at the Consumer Electronics Show. Right from the CEO, this does not mean a doubling in the stock price. So you're wrong, CEO. Your stock price didn't double. It quadrupled. It went from 3 and now it's 12. So here's the CEO saying, no, it's not worth 6. Well, it's at 12. So we don't care. We mentioned blockchain or we mentioned cryptocurrency. We got KodakCoin. Who cares what the CEO says? That's what this market says. Most irrational market I've seen since the dot-com bubble in 1999, at least when it comes to anything to do with crypto.
Should we try and wake up Emily? She's a photographer. See what she thinks of.
Go get her. See what she's gonna go buy the Kodak coin.
Well, it seems like it's
It seems like it makes a little bit of sense.
It's right. The idea makes sense. I don't know whether that means the stock is worth 4 times as much today as it was yesterday. But yeah, it seems like a cool idea. The ability that you, or the concept that you would get compensated every time somebody uses your photo. So you don't have to, track people down and say, hey, hey, mister, you're using my photo, and it's mine. Please compensate me. That's the idea behind it, which makes sense. So I don't know.
All right, I texted her and I'll see if she's up. I don't want to call and wait because if she didn't get a chance to research it at all. 1275. I mean, I don't even know if I should talk about this technically because it doesn't even matter. I mean, 1275, your pre-market high. You haven't been up in this quadrant here since March of 2017, and a couple monthly highs around the $15 level. So if you're so inclined to be buying this on a rally here, $15 was a couple monthly highs. Just note our volume on Monday, 5.7 million. 73 million traded yesterday. So you do have
went from 5 million to 73 million shares. This trade's 5 million shares. Why the hell wasn't I trading this thing lately? I mean, at $3 was great support there, Joel. Can you imagine though, if you just had this, you're like, I'd take a flyer on Kodak, and boom, you get the headline that everybody dreams of getting. Your headline gets a blockchain, headline there, or Kodak coin or whatever it is. That's the best headline you can get. It's a better headline than getting your stock taken over right now, for real. Because if Kodak's getting taken over, it wasn't going off the board $12. Nobody was paying 12 for it. So it's the best headline you can get. When your stock gets that blockchain headline, it's like cha-ching.
All right. So there we go. We got the move, 1240 currently. I know that some of our guys got down and dirty in it yesterday, but who knows? I mean, it's going to happen every day. You just got to figure out which one it is and which one will survive. But
there's warrants out there too, KODK.WS and KODK.WSA. These were both worth a penny, I believe, yesterday before the news. KODK.WS is bidding out $1.20. KODK.WSA is also trading up here. It looks like out 75 cents. So both of those stocks bid up significantly here. Moving along, actually KODK.WSA bid up at $1.16 here now. So obviously both those stocks move up because they've got some intrinsic value going on these warrants there now. Let's talk our blockchain stock of the day though. Kodak stock was yesterday. The one of the day is AR. There's always one. At 7:01 this morning, AMRH, never heard of this company before today, Amiri Holdings, went off the board at $3.42, but they come out with a headline that everybody dreams of getting. Amiri Holdings to expand offering with blockchain solutions. Yay! Stock trading up 81% here in the pre-market. So we're off the board at $3.42. I don't know what the volume was yesterday. I don't think it was much, though. This was no stock nobody follows. Today, they're following. It's already traded 200,000 shares here this morning, trading up 78%. What was the volume yesterday?
30,301.
So almost by appointment only, but not today. You got some liquidity. Stock is trading up $6.30 here right now. We know long term, these things seem to come back down. Short term, these things become rocket ships, and it's a matter when the rocket ship cools. The Kodak rocket ship is still going. I'll just say on Kodak before we do give it technical AMRH. Typically, these things are 2-day moves. So I would look at this thing, maybe even, look at the GCAP one, which was recently, which I wish I would have sold it all on because I only sold half my position, but had the big move, had the follow through the next day, the big move, and then cooled off. So what I will say is, look where the stock opens today. If it starts trading back down below that open, look out below. So, if we open up, let's just say, $12 and the stock opens up and runs to 13, if it comes back down through 12, that's the sell signal there. And I don't know if there's locates here on Kodak. I'm going to go with my locates right now here on Kodak because this thing starts trading down through the open. And we don't know what the opening price is. We won't know that until 9:30. But if it does, I'll be interested. No locates over at my one broker. Let's go see if I can find some other. Give us a breakdown, though, on our blockchain trade of the day, Joel.
This is a weird-looking chart here. I don't know what happened in November. I don't know what happened February through October. This thing just stayed at $6.50, but I don't know. This is a weird looking chart, but I'll just give you your pre-market high. That's our first bogey we'll be looking at. And that's 7.20. Now there's a gap to fill if this is a real gap. I don't know. Up to 770. They might have done like a reorg or something. I don't know. 870. I don't know why you do a 2-for-1 stock split, but you got a gap to fill up to 770. If you can go another 50 cents, and then 870 was your high in November. But I do a little research before I started trading this one. So I
can't get locates. Chat, you guys got locates anywhere? KODK? Because I just tried 2 separate brokers. I actually went to my locate broker. I have nothing right now. Maybe everybody grabbed them yesterday, but no locates here. Chat, let us know if you got locate on KODK. Jump back over here to real stocks instead of blockchain. It seems like 20 minutes we talk about blockchain every single day. Let's talk some real stocks here this morning. Some interesting ones with 2 earning stocks. Let's get those off the board. LEN reported earnings here this morning. Spencer, give us the details.
$1.29 for the Q4 EPS versus $1.31 in the same quarter last year. Revenue from home sales $3.3 billion. It was $2.9 billion last year, so a slight increase year over year. Q4 sales $3.78 billion versus a $3.57 billion estimate. So sales better than expected, and then Q4 EPS down 2 cents year over year.
Stocked out $1.11 here in the pre-market. Trading down at 65.55. It's been a hell of a run here for Lennar. Maybe a little bit cool this morning. Stock market probably not helping it here either. Trading down 50. We were $50 on the Kisser back on September 29th. So you're talking about a 15-point move. They're almost up 30%, 28% here in the matter of, my air math is good, Joel. 4 months. So LEN, been a big move, maybe a little cool this morning.
63 is your pre-market low, getting a nice bounce up to just over 66. So those are your early parameters. 63, you haven't been down to 63. See if that coincides with anything. 62.75 was your December 21st low. So keep an eye on that. If after that you fall off to 62.04. But now that, we're so far off the low, I just don't think we're going to get back down there. If you want to look for a gap fill from yesterday, you don't have to look very far. 66.31. That was a low from yesterday and a 66.67 close. So if, in fact, you can climb into that 66 handle, I think you find sellers, especially after being down to 63 even.
SVU, Super Value, your other earnings stock of the day. The grocer not doing that great here this morning. It's trading down 8% in the pre-market. This stock must have did a reverse split or something.
It must have. I was just thinking the exact thing.
Because I don't remember it traded $19, and obviously the all-time or the high for 2015 was up there at 84. So must have some type of reverse split.
It was 1 for 7 on July 20th.
There you go. An old dry ships trick. Anyways, SVU Trade down, $1.63 pre-market. Spencer, details.
61 cents versus 46 cents on the Q3 EPS.
Well, that sounds good.
Sales of 3.94 versus 3.99 billion, so a slight miss on the Q4 or Q3 sales number. Fiscal year, and they didn't really offer guidance. Fiscal year 18 adjusted EBITDA they offered at $475 to $485 million, but there wasn't a ton of guidance.
So maybe it's the guidance bringing us down here. I don't know, because this is a pretty significant move down on a beat on the bottom line. I guess the miss on the revenue, and I guess the guide's just slightly light here. Super value adjusted EBITDA 96 million, 109 million. I don't know. It's the guide's a little bit light, but they're hitting it.
1735, your pre-market low. That coincides with your November 29th low of 1728. So that could be a target on the downside, especially you've traded $22 earlier in the year. Below that, if you don't think that that's a good enough place to cover a short or try along, the previous day's low, the 28th, was 1645. Coming back on the upside, got a long ways to go to fill the gap. That would be 1958. With a 1963 close, it looks like the street was kind of leaning the right way on this one. Down $2 yesterday, not $2, a $1.50 from 2104 to 1963. So sellers ganging up on this one. I don't expect it to fill the gap.
Chat's not finding locates on Kodak either. Jimmy A says no. Also, we have Aviator 1 saying he was looking to E-Trade. They don't have locates either. We're still looking for locates on our friend, and we know what that is. We're looking for locates over here on Kodak.
You know what? I just want to give compliments to the chat here. They've been great. They've been coming up with some great input, working together.
Good chat.
Great trading ideas. Really appreciate it. John Dodson, Spinner, Dr. J, all of them. Keep up the good work. So, all right.
Good chat. Jump over here to ratings land. We got about 3 or 4 significant ones I wanted to highlight. First, we'll go RBC. They were hot for my IBM, which IBM has been up $10 this year, doing well for me in my investment portfolio. My blockchain trade of the year is what I was saying, from a real perspective. But Deere, let's talk Deere. The stock is hot as hell. It was up significantly yesterday. RBC buying up here. They're upgrading the stock this morning. Do you have a price target, Spencer?
I didn't see one. I just saw the outperform rating.
Okay, so they upgrade and outperform. Stock trading up another $1 here in the pre-market. I mean, this is just pure rocket ship mode. You think we are down here today, so that can weigh on it a little bit. But eventually, the next stopping point looks to me like the big whole number 170. I look in the book, I see 25,000 shares up there, somewhat significant for a $170 stock. I don't know if it sees that today. That's $4 up, but these things get crazy. I mean, look at that Boeing move in the last 2 days. Broke out through 300. 3 days later, it's 320. Well, you know what? Here's a point, and I'm going to go on a tangent here. All this money, that all these guys are making in crypto, we've had like $1 trillion basically made from nothing there because there's $1 trillion worth of market cap. When they sell these things, maybe they're going to start putting it in stocks. If we're going to go to $10 trillion worth of market cap in crypto, some of this money, could be, it's real money that's got to push those prices up. But there's still some people that have made a lot of money here. Some of that money, when they convert it back into US dollars, like the Litecoin guy sold it all, maybe they're going to go and put this into stocks. Inflationary.
Dennis,
thoughts?
I don't know. You just went from Boeing to John Deere to cryptocurrencies back to
I'm
stocks.
all over the place. I'm too excited today.
What
I need to go take a pill.
All right. So pre-market high 160. I'm going to go with Deere because that was the actual stock that you were talking about. A very light trade. You got odd lots up here trading it at 166.90. So not sure what the bids or offers are. The only number I can really give you is the close, 165.60, all-time high 65.98. So as long as you stay green above that 65.60, I like it. Below that, you fall off to yesterday's low at 61.52, but up on very, very, very light volume.
Jump over here to Target, another hot stock of the year. Actually, of yesterday at least. It got up to that number. What did we say? Said $70. That was the high rate on the kisser there. Could not get through it. These big whole numbers work. I know it sounds silly, but they work. And, that's what we're seeing here again this morning. Target, if you're trading it, I'm going to stick with the $70 level. That's where resistance was yesterday. Although it did come back mid-afternoon, I believe it took out the size. So once it takes out the size, that opens it up a little bit. Trying to see if there's a refresh. There's 19,000 shares there now at 70. So there's a little bit more stock again. Keep an eye on that level though. $70 is big. They're getting upgraded this morning at Susquehanna.
Yeah, this was the stock of the day in the chat yesterday. We were talking. It didn't even see that 70 off the hop, though, Dennis. Opened up, I believe, in the higher 69 handle and traded lower. Came back and took it out later in the day. So there was definitely some wicked trading there. But, will the sellers replenish at 70 again? Sometimes they, maybe they'll say, hey, we'll sell a chunk at 70, but we'll see if it breaks out over 70. We'll sell one more at 71, 72, 73. But when you have a stock that trades a whole number that it hasn't seen, let's see here, going back until late 2016, I mean, there's going to be orders out there. Yeah, maybe the stock is going. Actually, we were at 74.24 in January of 2017. So keep an eye on that. The pre-market high yesterday was 70.23. But I think in this down market, I think sellers will refresh if we get.
I think they're well at 72. Yep. $70. That's a level here. I'm going to stick with that one. Workday WDAY catching an upgrade at Morgan Stanley. This chart is interesting because it had been butting its head up against the 110 level for 3 days in a row. Look at these highs: 109.98 from the last 3 days, 110.06, and 109.98 again, or 109.94, and then the day before that 110.19. 4 tops right in the same area, Joel. Now you're breaking out through that level. So I'm going to say old support or resistance becomes new support. If that thing comes down for whatever reason at 110, I think you find buyers here now. But breakout city for WDAY.
On night volume, though, once again.
But upgraded, so it's pushing her up.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll give you that the upgrade. It's hit a high of 112.35, a big 3,000 shares have traded there. So keep an eye on that. Old support, old resistance, new support. I can go with that. I mean, you're in a tough area here because it made the all-time high and then it came off very, very hard a couple of days. I'm not sure if it was earnings, but if you want to hold out for a couple other targets here, I'll just give you some daily highs. 114.24, 115.59, and then a double top in the all-time high up at the all-time. Oh boy, you had 1, 2, 3, 4 tops in a 116 handle. So another $4. I really think sellers will step up, but there's some other intermediate highs coming back. As Dennis mentioned, that 110 will now act as support.
UAL, this is a big level too. It's coming up, getting upgraded. Had some numbers last night, now getting upgraded at Citigroup this morning here. And the stock is trading up right at the critical $70 level. And if I go to the book, I can tell you UAL in the book, 29,000 shares is 70. So that liquidity obviously becomes active after 9:30. That's the New York book. So that's your first level it's got to get through. I could push through there though, because you got the good numbers and you got the upgrade. Let's see what it does at 70.
Right. Let's see. And we've traded above it in the pre-market, trading at the high of the session, 70.17, just traded 70.16. Go into your daily charts here. That's just a big, big level. Let me see if I can find a corresponding high. Nope, 69.62. When have we been in 70? Last time we were at 70, we had a 70.36 high. And this was back in July of last year. So caution here above that. 71.28 was your July 25th high.
Balances just came out. I'm playing my GE again. I'm long it. I actually bought some more pre-market just a little while ago, 48 and 47. Stock getting a bit up, 655,000 shares to buy. It's like the 5th day or 6th day in a row here. Now I'm going to keep playing. I've basically been buying. I've been buying the close and selling the pre-market and selling the open. It's worked for 5 or 6 days in a row here. Keep doing it until it doesn't work anymore. That buy and balance shows up here again, despite being down significantly here on the day on the S&P. Somebody still wants more GE. These institutional traders, man, they are pesky and they continue to show up even on these big down days, Joel. Thoughts just on quick on GE as we see this buy and balance every single morning.
Yeah, well, we had a nice run off the 17 and a quarter low. This is trading pretty much textbook technical. You had a nice bump up to 1887. That was about a $1.50 move, and you had the 50% retracement down in the lower 18s, and now you're regaining momentum here. 1866 was your high. I mean, you just got a bunch of daily highs here. 1866 and 1870, and that's flanked by the high of the move at 1887. So you're running into problems here ahead of a big hold number like 19. But just steady buyers here at General Electric coming off the lows of the move.
Back to ratings quickly, just big lots I wanted to highlight as well. They are getting downgraded at Oppenheimer here. The stock is just kind of been quiet. We haven't talked about it for a while. Really, if you look at the last year of trading, it's been between 47 and 60. Think about the range the retailers have had. This has been quiet, really, comparatively speaking, and it used to be one of the more volatile ones. Anyways, $60 seems to be putting a lid on it. Tried to get up there the last couple of days, couldn't quite get to that level. Now you're coming back down. I think you got good support down here at 54. That's a buck lower than we are offered in the pre-market, because right now, close 57.01 is offered down at 56.20. So somebody's saying it's going obviously lower than that on the downgrade. 53 is the best bid, so very wide here this morning. But I think, you're going to see this probably in the 55 handle today.
And let's see, that 57.40 was the closing print from yesterday. Man, I don't see anything in here. I bet you this thing could see 54.42 today, Dennis. That was a double bottom from from the third and the fourth. That's the only thing I see in here in big lots. And coming out of the chat here, Big T, Triple M upgraded this morning, not at all-time high. Can you guys chart? Of course we can.
What's Triple M upgrade? I missed that. I didn't see a Triple M. Let me go take a look. Did you see that one, Spencer?
No, I didn't.
I'm not sure about that. Triple M. I don't see an upgrade this morning. So maybe there was some commentary, some analyst commentary, but I just checked Newswire. I do not see an upgrade on 3M. So regardless, we can give you a technical on it, though. And 3M, looking itchy too there, Joel. I mean, this has been a consolidation station there too. 2 days lows, last 2 days, 239.34, 239.18. So where support is. There's somebody bid down there at 239.55. Get above yesterday's high, you could be in 2-day move breakout, but tough day for stocks, obviously, with the market being down as much as it is. But 3M, I like the chart.
Yeah, keep an eye though. Make sure you stay above 239. Dennis mentioned the last 2 days of lows. Coming back on the upside here, of course, you want to go green on the session. 241.28. That was your close from yesterday, and I don't think that's an all-time high, closing high. Yep, yeah, it is. That's an all-time closing high. Nope, 43.14. I'm sorry, 243.14. But not seeing the upgrade, but trading down. Let's use the close as resistance.
Can you get WDC comments real fast before Jeremy?
WDC, this is getting to be a thorn in my side here.
You still got it?
I still got it.
You are like Warren Buffett over there. You hold stocks forever, Joel.
Yeah, I think I'm getting out of it finally.
You said that a million times. You keep holding on to it. You've been awesome. You've doubled your money in this thing. Did you know what? And I always say, a lot of times when I don't know what to do and I've doubled my money, I sell half and then I'm completely playing with the house's money.
Yeah, but this is something a little bit longer term. You hit a pre-market low of 78. It looks like it's finally losing this $80 level. Maybe it's for good. Traded down $1.37. A pair of lows, you're finding support here. 2 lows at 77.50 and then 2 at 76.60. So keep an eye on that. Do you want to bring Jeremy in on the fly here?
Yeah, let's do that.
I see him in the chat. Maybe he'll have a good greeting for us here. Jerremy Newsome. I
just want you to know you can press pound at any point to skip this voicemail.
Oh, no, that's a good greeting.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Jeremy.
Oh, man.
Right.
That's the greatest answer machine message
no, wait,
ever.
hold on.
I was trying to determine if it was really him or not.
Hold on. Jeremy, you there?
All right, let's
Jeremy.
Jeremy Newsome.
This is why we take breaks.
This is why we take. That was good, though, but this is why we take breaks. All right, we'll take a quick break.
No, he says try again.
He says try again. He's in the chat.
Okay. He just wanted the whole world to hear his answering machine message because it was really good.
All right. I'm gonna try him again while I dial this number. You guys talk about something.
We're
talking about that answering machine message. That was great.
Yeah. All right. Here
I want to change my answering machine message right now.
Well, we know he was a
Hey, everybody.
Okay. trying him one more time.
Get him on
What's
here.
going on, gentlemen?
Hey, Jeremy, how's it going?
Hey, guys.
Love that answering machine message, buddy. That's you're bringing it on that.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I'm in Nashville, so I gotta stand out.
You know what?
Sure, good point.
Big T wants to know if you recorded that in your car.
Sounded like it.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
Absolutely,
you guys nailed that.
Do you trade out of your car too, or you just do your?
That's a funny question. Actually, that's one of my rules. One of my random rules is I do not trade on my phone because, trading is so accessible, and I'm already on my phone often, so I just try not to trade on my phone at all, ever. So I don't have any, unless it's like an absolute dire emergency, no phone trading for me.
All right. So how are things in Nashville? You guys chilly? What's the weather like down there? You doing all right? You getting deep freezes?
Yeah, man. No, so Nashville is like the only place that did not snow last week. It snowed in Florida, I think, like in Orlando or something. Everyone's getting snow down there, but Nashville, it was cold. It was like 8 degrees, but no ice, no snow. It was really strange.
All right.
Hey, are you a Nashville Predators fan? Because obviously I'm an Oilers fan. My Oilers are just terrible this year, but they were in Nashville there last night. And the Oilers tied it with 5 minutes to go, and then they do that offside challenge stuff, and they said the play was offside just because he lifted his skate up. Are you a Predators fan?
Yeah, man.
Did you see that play? Because I was like, I was honestly shooting the bird to my TV screen. I was so mad last night. I go to bed angry all the time because I cheer for all the loser sports teams. Like all my teams always lose. I got the Tigers, who are going to be terrible this year. The Lions, who have won, playoff victory in the history of their franchise since the Super Bowl anyways. And then I cheer for the Oilers, who missed the playoffs 10 of the last 11 years. All I know is misery in hockey. But tell you, your Nashville Predators, they got a hell of a hockey team.
Yeah, which is kind of surprising, happened out of nowhere. So obviously we have the Titans, which is going to be a big game this weekend. But other than the Titans, that's the only really big sports team we have, and people love the Predators, man. It is
great fans, great.
Downtown gets slammed.
All right, Jeremy, I know you like to stick to your rules, and you're active trader. I just want to know the allure of these cryptocurrency stocks. We've been talking about it, joking about it. Are you deviating from your Apples and your Facebooks and your stable of stocks that you trade, or are you getting down and dirty in these things?
Oh man. I'm glad you asked. Because you're right, Joel. I do like, as a young guy, it's weird, not to be in the penny stock world, and I do love the Apples and the Berkshire Hathaways and all that. I love companies that make sense. But I personally feel like this is the new internet bubble, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Meaning, I think this is here to stay, man. It's legitimate. It's a brand new market. It's like Forex. So, when Forex, foreign currency, when you're able to trade it electronically, hasn't been around that long. And I think this is just a new type of currency that can be traded. I think it is legitimate. Most of them are garbage. So for right now, so like we're in the tech bubble of the cryptocurrency world, right? Pets, soak.com and leaf.com and things like that, where stocks go from, Kodak going from 3 to 40 or whatever it was, just ridiculous. So there's Long Island iced tea blockchain, stuff like that. This is getting stupid. So, there's a point in time where we'll have a nice little shakeout of the smaller, really insignificant, inane type of companies that are just doing asinine things. And I think that's kind of an example of one of those. But the Ethereum, the Bitcoins, the Litecoin, the EOS, there's probably some few others, but they're going to be around to stay, man. They're here. They're serious. The market cap's too big. Too many people know them. It's too much mass adoption at this point. And I'm not saying it can't go lower a little bit, over the next week or month or something, but longer term, I'm in. I'm actually working on starting a cryptocurrency hedge fund, in fact.
Really?
So I'm taking it very legitimate. Yeah, I'm taking it very seriously.
So what ones are you in? Which ones do you own?
Ethereum is my biggest holding right now. I bought Ethereum. I'll tell you a fun story, but I did buy it at 11 and then sold it at 40, thinking I was the greatest trader in the world. And like a
at
week
11,
later, I think it was
at 11.
Yeah.
Holy cow, you were
11.
all over this, Jeremy. Where weren't you talking about this on our show when you were buying this at 11? Jeremy Newsome, this was the hottest tip ever. $11 on Ethereum. What is it, like 1,200 now?
It was witchcraft at the time, Dennis. So people were calling me like crazy.
But it's $100 witchcraft.
I was afraid to go to Salem. Like I was like, man, I'm gonna get persecuted for this. But the thing is, though, man, I sold it 40 and it went to I think 190 like an hour and a half later, something insane like that. So it's a very weird market. But Ethereum is my biggest holding right now. I got in very, very strongly at 400 and 500, and add a little bit at 700. My target is 2,900 next probably 3 to 4 months on Ethereum. Bitcoin obviously is a big holding of mine. Second biggest holding is Bitcoin, but I would say Litecoin is probably number 3, followed very, very closely by Ripple and EOS, which is a newer ICO. So yeah, I mean this. It's a very, very fascinating, incredibly rich, gaining way too much attention to be a bubble. Here's the thing about bubble, guys, and you guys all know this. If everyone says it's a bubble, it's not a bubble, right? We're just like the stock market. So many people want the stock market to crash a year ago because they're like, oh, it's way too high. You know, it's going up too far, so on and so forth. Overnight, a lot of competition with the bubble. That's healthy. You want someone to be opposing these trends. If everyone's like, oh, get on cryptos, everyone's bullish on it, then you know it's a little bit of a problem. But yeah, anyway, to answer your question, man, I'm in hard, and
nice.
Yeah,
well,
I still
like
have shares, obviously.
We've had a lot of bears on the show, and I've been a bear in crypto for a while as well. And I mean, we like having the bulls on there too. And there's a case to be made there for some of these things. I don't know for some of these, like the doggy coin. Are you invested in the doggy coin?
Oh gosh.
Doggy.
No. So
$1 million.
I refuse. I do not get into. It might be pronounced Dogecoin, but I'm not
I like
sure.
doggy.
But,
it's called doggy coin.
Yeah.
Call it Doge, but it's like a dog, isn't it?
I'm with you. I know, man. It's insane. That one, pot coin, I've never touched that one. There's a lot of those. I just refuse to buy into.
Pot coin sounds like that should be the hottest one, with as hot as the pot stocks have been combined with crypto. I mean, that's got to be the hottest one. Pot coin. I almost want to invest about it.
Problem with that is everyone forgets they own it. You know, they're like, "Hey, did I buy that?" And,
that's funny. That is very funny.
All right.
I mean, there's some craziness going on.
All right, we're gonna rein you in here. I mean, after that full message here, we've been on a tangent on Bitcoin, but you know, Jeremy, your trading style, you like to watch the pre-market action and the after hours action, and you don't like to fade. You like to go, you know, with these after hours moves. And what do you got up on the radar for today? Let our chat and our traders see what's on. What are the hot stocks? What's on your radar today?
Yeah, totally, man. And you are correct about the fade. I very rarely fade, maybe 2 or 3 times a month. If I just have to see it and go, oh man, everyone's looking to sell this, which actually Kodak is at one today. Or I'm just thinking, who is going to buy Kodak today? What?
You're looking for locates. Jeremy, we're looking for. You have locates? Because we've been looking for locates here all morning. I've been trying to hunting them down. Is there options in this? Let's go look at those options.
I'm going to call my friends and like, come on, guys. How can we get some shares? Who has
there is.
Shares
there's options. There's options though. Probably.
I'm pulling up right now.
There is options,
but yeah. Thank goodness for options.
Yeah, that might be one way to try it. So, because I cannot find a location.
How would you approach it? Let's see here. I'm sure you could drive a truck through these spreads here in this thing, and then I want to look at the volume. So, you know, if let's say you did have a locate on this, you know, how would you approach shorting it?
Well, on this one, let me look at the 5 minute. I mean, So it went up all the way to 1250 pre-market. The 5-minute chart pre-market shows a pretty stable trend. I mean, it's just making higher highs and higher lows. So the challenge on this one is if it gets back up to 1250, where's 1250? Give me a second. Weekly. So 1540 is the 200 simple on the weekly chart. I don't think it gets up there. It could. But really, in a fade like this, where I know everyone and their mom is going to be looking at it, talking about it, someone's going to buy it out there. I mean, people obviously are. So people are buying. They're excited about Kodak. I thought they were bankrupt. Didn't know they were.
So did we. So that's what we just said. They were bankrupt, but they pulled themselves out of bankruptcy, reorged.
Yeah. So yeah, about that. Something definitely. I remember at some point they were this gap. Oh man. Anyway, so how am I going to play it? I'm going to wait exactly 5 minutes to let some of the option spreads calm down. It's going to be very hard to short shares. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look to buy an at-the-money put expiring in January, and whatever I buy in it's going to be my risk. So, for example, I mean, gosh, the spreads are going to be gnarly. But let's say a $10 put will cost $2.40. Right. So if my risk is 450, I'm going to buy 2 of those options and then hold them a day or two. Right. Because I'm just going to say, all right, here's 2 options. I'm putting $450 into the trade approximately. And I'm okay holding them to 0 in case something crazy happens. So that's the cool thing with puts. Right. If you buy a put, the lowest it can go is 0. Absolutely as low as it can go. So I'm going to mitigate my risk that way by saying, okay, here's my total investment. Going to buy into this. Here's the puts, and if it rolls over, great.
All right, good. I like the setup there. I like the risk reward. What else is hot today? Are you all over John Deere here at buying it at 167? Because I will note that, Jeremy, it's kind of going the other way. You're a lot of your strategies. If it's up, you're up there buying. You're going with the trend here. Man. So what about here in John Deere gets an upgrade?
Nothing.
What do you got?
Nothing runs like a deer, Joel. Nothing runs like a deer. Except a gazelle. Gazelle runs like a deer. This is just what an immaculate trend. Like this and Boeing just make me scratch my head. I'm just thinking, like, how high can stocks go sometimes? And these are just proving to me they can keep going higher. So I would be very cautious buying Deere here because you had 6 really powerful days in a row that are bullish, and it's gapping up. You had pretty good volume yesterday, so someone's going to be selling. I would look at it, since you're on the daily chart right there, Joel, I would look at it similar to what happened on the 22nd of November, to go back just a little bit. Has that nice lower shadow when it gapped up after all of that buying. I would kind of anticipate something like that, where it gaps up. I'm going to let it trade down. Someone's going to sell. Someone's going to lock in their profit at an all-time high. Some guy named John is sitting by his computer right now waiting for the market to open to start selling some shares. So I'm going to look for that selling to come in, and then I'll look to buy the dip after it does that. The cool news is, and I feel good about myself, you guys were actually looking at some of the stocks I was looking at as well this morning with Workday. I really did like that gap on Workday. I liked how Dennis analyzed that. That was pretty spot on. I feel good. So Workday, looking at trading that one bullish. I'll probably wait 5 to 6, 10 minutes maybe, but looking to play Workday bullish. United, I really like the bullish gap on United. I feel like it's trapping some people. So again, that's another one that you guys brought up, which is nice. I think it's very nifty and swifty. And then as far as gap downs, there's a decent amount of gaps today down. So I'm kind of hoping maybe we get one day where the market actually pulls back more than 1%. I doubt it's going to be today, but I would like it to be. So I'm going to be watching SPY, SPY, for some puts because it had a white candle yesterday and it's gapping down right now. And it's opening below the low of yesterday. So that's kind of a big deal. So I'll be watching this for some SPY.
Okay.
I was going to say, got another blockchain play. JQ giving us the heads up on this one. I'm just going to the PR Newswire to read it. NQ Mobile. a leading smart car and smart ride. This just came out 8:48, so 2 minutes ago, hot off the press. And NQ Mobile, leading smart car, smart ride company, today announced that its subsidiary Link Motion Holdings has issued a paper describing the roadmap for its computer to advance to a car brain with support from the integration of artificial intelligence and blockchain applications. They put all the buzzwords in this press release. AI, blockchain applications, technology architecture, NQ Mobile. Your new blockchain trade of the day. It's traded up 17%.
Oh my gosh. Wow. They had an intern. They said, hey guys, we need these words. Make it happen.
Really did.
Surprised synergistically wasn't in there, and I'm shocked. Okay, well there you go. There's a new one. I mean, here's the thing. I hate these moves. They throw over blockchain and it goes up 20%. But here's the deal. If anyone's playing these things, think tech bubble, in and out, right? Throw some risk at it. Keep the risk small, and do not short these the first day. Do not do that. That is not smart. For any circumstances, unless you're doing it with put options where your maximum risk is your investment and you know your maximum risk. In my opinion, I'm not shorting any of these things day one, right? When the news comes out, I'm looking at longs, and I'll hold overnight. Again, call options or shares, probably call options if you can find them. And because again, it's all about risk mitigation with these bubblicious moves. Does not last. So I'm interested to see what happens. But yeah, NQ, man, an open above, what is that, 470? Gonzo. So yeah, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that one today. Thanks.
You got to be from Nashville when you use the term bubblicious. Isn't that a French term? I love it. Bubblicious. I love it. That's the Fergie. That's from Fergie, I think.
That's right.
From what?
You know it.
Fergie.
NQ 485. You know what? I nibbled on, so I bought some of 456 on the pullback. I couldn't resist.
There you go, my man.
Real quickly, Jeremy, before we let you go, just talk about your 5-minute strategy real quickly. Dennis and I, over the years, that opening print, we like to put a lot of emphasis. You have a high percentage of highs or lows being made, off that opening print with institutions. Just tell us how you derive that 5-minute, that 5-minute time frame and how you use it.
So great question, man. So what I've noticed is a lot of the traders who do trade, they are not very familiar with price action, bid asks, level 2, reading the print, reading the tape. I know you and Dennis are very good at that. For a lot of traders who start day trading, they're not that great, and they're usually a little bit slower as well, getting their orders in, looking at the charts, especially for someone who's brand new. And as you know, I do a lot of teaching just in general. So really the 5-minute thing for me is oftentimes because I'm way too aggressive and just spontaneous and just diving into a chart without doing anything. So I created some rules a few years back, like you mentioned, for the vast majority of stocks, unless it's just perfect and I got that feeling. I got to go talk to that girl on the other side of the bar. If I see that, then I'll take it a little bit more aggressively. But usually, high 90% of the time, I wait for at least 5 minutes. And I like to get a high wave indecision candle. So that indecision candle says, hey, dude, I have no idea what we're doing, right? Wait it out. Let's see what happens. But in that 5-minute window, what I start doing when I find the gap that I like is I'm able to set up my entry. I usually do stop limits so I don't get any slippage when I enter. So I'll do the stop limit and same price for both the stop and the limit. And then I just set my exit on the other side of the gap, on the other side of the candle. And that way, I usually just set it up and then walk away. So I trade for about 8 minutes a day. I'm actually in front of the computer, after market open. And I just kind of walk away for about an hour. Go do some other stuff, whatever that might be. Maybe go to the gym or pretend to go to the gym and look at some trades, come back, and kind of manage the chart from there. So yeah, the 5-minute, I love the high wave candle. Now, obviously, I miss a lot of trades. Right. But if you miss a trade, that's okay. I never chase. It's like the Top Gun quote, if you think you die. So if you chase, you die. I never chase. I just, if it's there, I take it. If it's not being in the trade literally means I cannot lose money, which is always a good thing. And number 2, can't be in everything. You're literally missing $1 billion every hour of the day in the equity market. So don't worry about the money that you're missing. find a good trade that you like, make 100, 200 bucks, whatever you're looking for that day, and then go on about your day. That's kind of my approach.
Jerremy Newsome, CEO of reallifetrading.com. His favorite movie is Forrest Gump. You got to love that. He's done some stand-up comedy, as you could tell, and has been doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu since he was 16. So don't mess with Jerremy. Jerremy, Lisa's been bugging me to come down there to Nashville. So I'll let you know when we get on the docket, and love to get together and have a few pops with you.
Anytime, my brother, anytime.
Okay, Jerremy, thanks a lot. Great segment. We'll talk to you again
soon.
Gentlemen,
you got it. My pleasure. Have a great
S&P futures crawling their way back up here. Now only down 8 1/4 at 44 even. Really like the area we're approaching here coming on into the open. Mid-range on the day is 44.75. So that's your bogey. You clear that. Maybe we'll go get back into yesterday's range. Dennis, how's that NQ working out for you? Did we lose Dennis? Did you cut Dennis off?
No, I didn't cut Dennis off. He's still.
No, I'm on mute. I pulled the Joel trick. I was on mute.
Oh, that's
I bought 456, sold 475. Cha-ching! Reason, this is a thicker one. So I don't think it's going to be able to take off 100, 200%, although Kodak obviously showed it. I don't think it's going to take off on that. Jimmy A also saying 100,000 the book of $4. I do see that offer in the book. Also see another 100,000 34,450, 70,455, 50,465. So we've already traded 462,000 shares. So it's going to be able to chew through that probably with ease. But I don't think this is one that's going to trade up over $5. I think it's one that's going to chop around, eventually maybe start leaking. All the buzzwords in there, though, like, Jerremy Newsome, right? Car brain with support for AI and blockchain. They put all the buzzwords. That intern that put that, headline together was, did a great job because he got all the big buzzwords in there.
All right. Anything else that is on your radar for today?
Let's go to the imbalances. Banks, 157,000 to buy in Bank America, 48,000 to buy in Morgan Stanley. I always like to look at the TLT, which is down significantly here today. When you see the TLT trade down $1.20, that makes me automatically think the banks could be stronger. So watch banks. We're down here big on the S&Ps. If you get some of these banks opening cheap, that could be a trade for you guys out there. So keep an eye on the banks. I think they could go green here on a really red tape. So that's, one idea for today. Going back to imbalance land here, GE is now 728,000 to buy. I'm still long GE for the trade. Obviously, still long for my investment portfolio as well, which I'll probably be long until I die. AT&T, 71,000 to sell. Verizon, 99,000 to sell. Both those stocks somewhat weaker yesterday. They did go down. They did take out that support we talked about. Verizon chopped me out a little bit on there because I actually had a rally ahead of it. But it's broken down through support here now, and they are ex-dividend here. So the trade is obviously playing them from the short side usually. Once they go ex-dividend, they are continuing down here this morning. So shorts being rewarded here this morning in AT&T and Verizon.
All right, and I mentioned the mid-range on the day in the S&P's 44.75. We've already filled the gap from yesterday's low, 42.75. So if you want to throw out the pre-market and after-hours action, we are opening into Tuesday's low. That's 18 points below our all-time high that was made yesterday. Right on the nose at 60 even. So we talk about half and whole numbers, The Spoos found one yesterday. So 9 o'clock, folks.
The COGT, got another one for you. This came out here at 8:58. COGT launches new blockchain solutions division. It's getting a pop here in the pre-market. Already 100,000 shares of trade. It's at 585, close to 510. So there's another one for you. COGT. What was the volume on this one yesterday, Joel?
Let me pull it up here. The volume yesterday. Oh, someone got the memo on this one, Dennis. Because on Monday it traded 546K. Yesterday it traded 2 million, and that's someone.
Well, no, they had a headline on Thursday that they had a strategic alliance to combine their analytics with Dragon Chain.
And it traded 3 million that day. Good.
All right, so it's already kind of been out there on this one. It's getting a big pop. It's up 20% on the official headline though that just broke 2 minutes ago. Launches new blockchain solutions division. Man, there's not even one of these every day. There's 4 or 5 of them every day now. Eventually these things are going to butter out, you think. But I mean, they're going to keep milking it until they can't milk it anymore. And when we see a move like Kodak, everybody's taking out, all these little companies that have been struggling are taking notes, saying, hey, this could pull us out of their stock price out of the gutter. So this is something that's going to continue on for a while.
Yeah.
It looks like COGT. So your ones today, your blockchain trades today, just to quickly, headline them. AMRH. We haven't looked at that one for about 30 minutes. It's trading up at $6. It's up 75%. Then you got NQ Mobile, which just broke a few minutes ago. It's trading up 462. Thicker one though, so it's going to have a little trouble going up, as much as some of the other ones do. And then COGT, which just broke a couple minutes ago, is trading at $6 here right now, up 17%.
All right, thanks for that, Dennis. Looking ahead to tomorrow's show, we're going to be joined by a new guest, Scott Fries. He is the president of Street One Financial, and he'll join the show tomorrow at 8:35. But if you missed any part of today's show, catch the podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher, or go to youtube.com/BenzingaTV. Thanks to our guest, Jerremy Newsome, today for hopping in the chat and hopping on with us. Thanks to all of our chatters on premarket.benzinga.com. Hope you all have a good rest of your day. We'll see you folks on Thursday.